I see there's like a light on back there. Maybe I should turn that light off. Is that distracting or does it just look real? Hi, I'm Gugu Mbatha-Raw. IMDb, in partnership with the United Nations Refugee Agency, has invited me to share my films of hope. The reason I'm doing this is we all need hope, and obviously this has just been such a challenging year in light of COVID-19, which has affected us all in many different ways. And of course, refugees are the most vulnerable. I saw this in Rwanda myself when I met people who have been forcibly displaced. So I wanted to find stories that would inspire us and give us hope. My first film is Up. I just love this film.
I have just met you and I love you.
The first 10 minutes alone, I think, are famous for making me cry all the time. It's a beautiful montage of this couple's life. It's just like, oh God, I love that music. And when he loses her, and I'm like, ooh, when he loses her, he sort of loses his hope and spirit of adventure until a plucky young Boy Scout comes along.
Are you in need of any assistance today, sir?
And that's where the resiliency and persistence really comes in, because this Boy Scout is so persistent. He really, really wants to be part of this old man's life. And it just goes off on this magical journey. I mean, the balloons, the house takes off with a giant bunch of balloons. It's just so uplifting, literally uplifting, and I could just watch it forever.
An explorer is a friend to all, be it plants or fish or tiny mole.
That doesn't even rhyme.
Yeah, it does.
My next film is Amelie, the wonderful French film starring Audrey Tautou. It's about this single woman living in Montmartre in Paris, and really her sort of internal life, which from the outside looks quite lonely. She's quite introverted, but she has this wonderful, mischievous imagination. And it's just a magical, magical story about how she sort of helps people and basically make people's lives better.
Elle est en train de réfléchir à un stratagème.
Ah, elle aime bien ça. Oh, les stratagèmes.
Like, she finds this tiny little time capsule box in the skirting board of the apartment that she's living in. And there's all these little wonderful things in it from a little boy's life. You know, she finds out who this little boy has grown up into this man, and she's able to leave that box for this man. There's something magical about the sort of kind things that you can do for strangers.
Plus si limpide qu'un élan d'amour, comme un désir d'aider l'humanité entière, la submerge tout à coup.
My final film of hope is Beasts of the Southern Wild. The amazing and fierce Quvenzhané Wallis, age 6, is this little girl who lives with her dad.
Me and my daddy, we stay right here.
They really don't have much materially, but there's such a wealth of imagination in her world. Even though they're not refugees, they are forcibly displaced because of the flooding, losing their home because of climate change. And I feel like it's something that millions of refugees around the world are dealing with. And she's so fierce and so tough and resilient.
Who the man? I'm the man. Yeah, you the man. Who the man? Yeah, you the man.
She's like, I'm the man. And I just like, that's one of my favorite scenes. I feel like I just draw so much courage from this tiny, tiny little girl who's just so strong. So those are my films. They are films that I have watched during the pandemic, at least once or twice. And they all have wonderful, heartwarming moments, magical moments that inspire us, and themes of resiliency, hope, and taking action in our own lives. There's always something that you can do. There is always, even however small, there is some action that you can take. The UN's COVID-19 Solidarity Response Fund for the World Health Organization is a unique fund working to respond to the pandemic and protect the most vulnerable people in the world, including refugees, in the fight against the virus. If you can help, please make a donation at covid19responsefund.org. Thank you, IMDb and UNHCR, for inviting me to share my films of hope. I actually feel more hopeful even just talking about the films. Don't forget to add these films to your IMDb watch list, and please share your own films of hope by using the hashtag Films of Hope.